here at the bottom part of the map. This is Crossfire, a member of the team MVP. He's not a nightmare. He's a different kind.
MVP, Dream.
There he is. We'll have to see some better play out of him today in this second game. Did not impress me in the first game. His Hellions didn't do damage. He had some weird timings. His opponent at the top position, formerly known as OGSJ, has changed his name. Now he is known as
OGS Ro16.
Here he is. So last game he actually played pretty impressively. It's hard to tell when a game goes like that, where the one player actually screwed up a lot, or it was the other one just playing extremely well. It's very difficult to actually see that, but we do see a 2-Rax coming down here from Dream.
And it's not just a 2-Rax, it's the 11-11 2-Rax.
It is in
both barracks at 11. Very fast 2-Rax build that a lot of Zergs have been struggling with. A lot of my friends tell me they have problems with it, and it's true, people have just been struggling with it, especially on a map like this. Natural's very far away from your main, very wide open.
But that could be why we are going to see a Ling expand here. We don't actually have any gas yet for Luvsic though.
And is the drone going to get inside? That almost happened.
Still saw what he needed to though. He saw those 2-Rax. Spawning pool's about done. I wouldn't be surprised if we see nothing but Lings for quite a while. And getting his gas as soon as possible will help him as well.
Yeah. 2 Marines, about to pop the first one going out. He's sending his first SCV forward, but also bringing a second one. This is going to really scare Luvsic. He actually doesn't have an Overlord to spot. He's just now moving it back over to spot for bunkers. MVP going to run up into the main base here. He wants to check for gas. He's not going to find it. When you scout a 2-Rax, it's almost impossible to get that gas up. And bringing 4 more SCVs here. Now, a lot of players do this build and then put their Marines behind their SCVs and put their SCVs on stop position so that Zergling AI does not attack the SCVs. You do see that a lot. As you can see, 6 Zerglings over there trying to chase him away, push him back.
Yep. As a response to that, you actually often see Zergs just getting a surround and putting their own Zerglings on hold position.
Right.
So they then do it, indeed attack and everything. But he looks like he's going to get in here, getting one of these Marines. Nice control by Dream so far, just getting out of range of those Zerglings. Bringing drones as well, though. Some Lings are left. There's only 2 SCVs at the front there, but he has actually defended so far. He's got 2 more Lings in production. His second hatchery's done as well. Oh, there we go. A couple more hits out on those Marines. He's just trying to buy time until he can get more and more Lings out.
Yeah, and a lot of these drones may surround these Marines.
He does get a semi-surround there on a lot of those units, getting both those SCVs down yet again. He's losing a lot of drones here, though. He's got 4 more Lings. Oh, that's the units tab.
Yeah, 6 more Lings in production. So you can have a total of 10 Lings here. But there are so many Marines, and they're taking those Lings out very fast. 8 more Lings in production, but 5 Marines, and they're also going to be on top of these larvae, so when the Lings come out, they're going to die instantly.
Yep, there's that Queen as well, trying to help out. He does have a little bit of range on it. He's going to be able to clean up almost all of these Marines, but nice control by Dream so far. He's now far enough off the creep that the Queen is going to be in a very vulnerable position. He's still got more and more Lings coming through. Queen gets back onto that creep where he needs to be.
Yeah, looks like those Marines are just going to wait for a few more reinforcements. Dream taking a pretty heavy lead here. 13 SCVs and 9 drones. That gives you kind of an idea of how many drones Luvsic has lost. He keeps making Zerglings as well because he wants to clean this up, but he's not droning during any of this.
Here we go. He's going to go for it again. 1 Ling does. Oh, he almost got a surround there, getting a lot of damage on all these Marines. More Lings coming through as the follow-up. There's only about 5 Lings left. 4. A lot of these damage. He is going to be able to clean this up eventually. And running into a corner. I'm not sure if that was the best idea, but he is now cornered and will get cleaned up.
During all of this, he has been continuing to make SCVs. He's gone up to 15 SCVs. Luvsic lost a lot of drones. He's down at 9 drones, maybe 8 here as this drone tries to desperately escape.
Yep.
But you remember, he made so many Zerglings, those were drones not being made. And a command center has gone down for Dream during all of this, so he's actually taken a pretty hefty lead.
Yeah, he's also putting down 2 more racks. He needs to be able to defend any counterattack that might happen. We do see Luvsic pushing forward into the almost natural here. He's got about 6 Lings down there. And he's going to be purely droning here for quite a while.
Yeah, it has to, like you said, exclusively drone. Scare his opponent with the Lings a little bit maybe, but there's no way he's going to be able to recover if he tries to make any attacking units from here. The scary part is Dream, like you said, did add those 2 barracks. He's adding the gases now. He may try to go for a 4 barracks timing attack once he gets those add-ons up going to crank out a bunch of units and hit a nice little timing where either if Luvsic is taking his third base, he can shut that down, or if Luvsic has droned just a little bit too heavily, he'll be kind of hard-pressed to deal with that.
Yeah, we do have another force of Marines moving forward here by Dream. Just want to put a little bit more pressure on. Sometimes you can catch the Zerg off guard when he's trying to drone too much, but we do see that Luvsic does have that top Zelnaga tower, so you can see that coming. He's also got a Spine Crawler going down as well. Still only just now getting his gas, though.
That's an extremely late gas. It's very first. He's not going to have Zergling speed for a while, and that means it's going to be very difficult to control the map. It's going to make him also very reluctant to even make Zerglings, because every Zergling he makes at this point, the Marine count is very high. There you can see the workers killed, so pretty even trade there, but the units killed, that tells a pretty big story. 37 units killed for Dreams. He killed a lot of those Zerglings.
On top of that, while Luvsic was making those links, he couldn't actually build drones. That also gave him a bit of a lead. He does have that fast expansion up fairly early, and he just used those lava for lings. Nothing but that. We do see the command center now going down for Dream in the natural, but he's moving forward with this little group of lings here. There's that Spine Crawler at the front, a second one as well. 12 lings in production, and he really wants that gas for ling speed right now.
Yes, he does. Marines might attack here. I'm not sure if it's a good idea. The Spine Crawler does so much damage. He kills these creep tumors. Keeps getting a little too close to that spine. Second spine is canceled. Luvsic realizes he doesn't need both. Zergling speed just only starting for Luvsic, so he can't really surround. Dream, I think, isn't really entirely sure when that speed is going to finish, so he's going to back off. He doesn't want to get his units surrounded. He's got tons more Marines building at home. He has added a tech lab. He started STEM, as well as a factory just finished up here. Macro hatch going down for Luvsic makes a lot of sense to get that hatchery. He needs that extra production right now. He doesn't want to take a third base. It's too far away on this map. Doesn't want to worry about defending that. Just wants to have that extra production to make the extra drones so he can take that third base later, or extra units if need be.
Yeah, well, we do see Dream playing very defensive. He's worried about a counterattack very early until he can get his unit forces back up to the numbers he wants, especially with Banelings on the way as well here for Luvsic.
And when that Baneling nest finishes up, Luvsic is going to put on a little bit of pressure, most likely. Again, though, I always talk about this. Whenever you see a Baneling nest, it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to attack. It could just be a defensive measure, because when you see a 4-Rax, or when you think a 4-Rax is coming, it's very, very important to have that Baneling nest, because without it, it's just impossible to hold. Even if you have Zergling speed, if your opponent has enough Marines, you're just not going to hold it.
Yeah, that Overlord being chased away, he might actually lose it. Oh, very close to losing that Overlord. 7 HP.
And Dream switching his starport with the factory reactor that he made so he can start getting out reactor medevacs. Didn't make any Hellions. Adding a tech lab on his factory, going to be start making tanks here. So he's playing, I thought he was going to do maybe a 4-Rax timing attack, but it looks like he just wants to play into the late game, get the medevacs, the tanks out, the Marine upgrades. Very, very normal TVZ style. Evolution Chamber going up for Luvsic back in his main. Wouldn't be surprised if he started either Carapace or melee attack upgrades immediately here. He is starting Baneling speed as his lair did just finish. Does not want to make mutas right now, though. He has invested a lot of gas in those Banelings. His gases themselves were a little bit late. It's just a little too expensive to go for mutas right now.
Yeah, we do have those 2 dropships now out here for Dream. Looks like he's going to load both of them up. No, just one of them. But notice the Overlord positioning here by Luvsic. He's actually got them pretty well spread out. He's going to see everything that's going on. He sees that dropship down at the bottom hand, left-hand corner. I think Dream's realized and actually backed off. But even near Luvsic's main and natural, he's got him spread out that he'll see a drop coming from a mile away.
Indeed he will, and this drop actually going right on top of Zerglings. We saw a shot of it there in the middle of the map. Wants to take them out. Both the Zerglings and the drop just kind of chasing each other there. Scan goes off, wants to see how many units are in the main. Remember, he's got 2 drops going, so he may decide to drop one in the natural and one in the main, but there are Banelings. Baneling speed almost done as well, so it's going to be relatively easy to defend. And here comes a drop in the natural. Whoa, drops 1 Marine on top of 2 Banelings, both the Banelings exploding.
This is a technique you see a lot more Terrans using these days, and like that being said, over here on the top left hand, a drop is spotted by that Overlord yet again. You're going to see some units being pulled here by Luvsic. There it is.
He's going to surround these Marines immediately. He's going to have to pick them up. He may decide to drop on top of the Banelings. No, actually drops below on the low ground so he can hit. But at the same time, dropping more Marines on top of Banelings over here with this drop.
Just like game 1, all this harass is coming in from both sides, and Luvsic's just like shrugging it off like it's nothing.
Yeah, he's completely prepared for this. He's taking the gold base right now. A pretty bold move, but I think he realizes that Dream is kind of focused on his main and his natural. He might be able to get away with that. Spire going up as well.
We do at the north-hand position here. We actually saw that dropship be unloaded, and he's going to be able to take out that Overlord. So he isn't seeing coming forward anymore. Speedlings coming through, trying to get as many of these Marines as they can. Too many Marines up here, especially with a Medivac to be of any use. But looks like Dream is moving forward. He has 2 tanks in the mix here. Spire's only just now finished, but Dream is actually 20 supply ahead.
Yeah, that's true. Both of these guys do have +1 weapons for the Zerglings, of course, and the infantry units. 42 Zerglings in production right now for Luvsic. He wants to get a ton of Lings out, make sure that he can hold this attack. He wants to hold that gold base especially. He's actually moving around. Hold that thought. Drop in the main, taking out a lot of these drones. This time he's not prepared. There's so many drones being taken out here. He's not even pulling the drones.
Here we go. They've got Banelings coming through. He's going to be able to clean that up eventually, but as he comes into the natural with these tanks, Luvsic's going to go for it here. Chasing down these Marines, the tank being focused down by half the Lings, the rest going forward. Units coming in from the back as well, catching all those Marines off guard. It's like it was nothing to him.
It's like it was nothing to him. Look at that units kill tab. Still though, Dream taking a significant lead. And how many workers and units he's killed. It did end up killing 17 workers total. Part of that was in the initial attack. He killed about 5 there, but he did do a ton of damage with that drop, killing about 8 to 10 drones with that drop alone.
Yeah, he was trying to do it as a diversion to come in from the natural, but Luvsic pulling just the right amount of units. He does not see that there's this gold here. He does now though.
Nice targets down the Baneling, but picks up, gets away. Down here at the bottom right side of the map, Luvsic's got a ton of Speedlings. He's got some Banelings there as well. Looks like he may be preparing for a bust.
Got another drop going down here at the gold as well. And while that's being said, on the right-hand side, another dropship going forward. The drop here over at the gold has actually been cleaned up. Actually, hasn't been cleaned up, I'm sorry.
Over at the gold base, he has killed all the drones of Luvsic. And more drones pop, and they do get killed.
You have some Lings coming forward here, but they are in a great position. Only 2 Lings can hit a Marine at once, and it's being healed by the Medivac too, as the drop comes into the natural at the same time. He's trying to defend all these drops now. Starting to see some cracks in Luvsic's defense.
Yeah, it does take out a lot of these Speedlings. Very cost-effective trade there for Dream, but now the mutas are out. And when the mutas come out, that means the drop ships go home. Can't use drops really once the opponent has mutas. It's too difficult. And that dropship will be taken out.
We do have a Zergling by the looks of it down here at the bottom right expansion, as well as the 9 o'clock as well to stop from Dream from ever expanding. But he is 30 supply up still. He's moving forward. It has been seen by Luvsic because he had great use of those Zelnaga towers. I think he's going to go straight for that gold base. Really wants to take that down.
That is exactly what he's going to do. He does have 1-1 upgrades now on his Marines. Or rather, it's about.
We are going to have a run by here down at the back. The mutas and Lings coming forward into this bunker. The siege tank going up. Being focused down by these mutas. It is going to go down eventually, and all these SCVs are going to be torn apart. At the same time, Luvsic is going to lose his gold. Too many Marines there to be able to deal with it, but he's getting so many kills here. The turret now defending these mutas and being forced to pull back.
So right now, like you were saying, 30 supply up is Dream. He's got an intensely scary army. It's intensely scary. And Muta's trying to catch tanks, trying to catch reinforcements. But Dream having all of his units really in one compact place, not really leaving any of his units astray. Until now, the Muta's attacking some of these tanks. Does get them away though.
Because he has these mutas on the field, it's going to be difficult for Dream to slowly get further and further forward. Taking out one of those dropships there. Almost loses 2 mutas. Needs to be very careful. There are a lot of Marines under there. We've still got some Marines clearing out the 9 o'clock expansion here for Dream as well. Oh, another dropship almost goes down. But given to those positions, it's very difficult for Luvsic to actually engage that force.
Yeah, he just can't use his Banelings and his Zerglings very well. This dropship completely shut down up here at the main. Some scans going down. The tank's now positioned on the low ground.
Luvsic might want to go for it here very shortly, as he does have a lot of mutas. He actually looks like he's going to split up, go around this force coming from the top. Oh,
kind of a weird decision, in my opinion. The tanks are in a very open area down there. He could have sent half of his
Whoa,
units
actually,
around.
no, he's going to go straight into the natural down the bottom.
Yeah, he's going to completely ignore this. I like this choice, but the problem is, now there are Marines inside of his natural, killing everything.
A lot of SCVs being picked off as they go over to the 9 o'clock expansion here for Dream.
But meanwhile, those Marines look like they are going to kill the hatchery here. Every Zergling that runs by is taken out as well. Here we go. Depots
Oh, he
are
doesn't get one of the depots. All these units coming forward. All these SCVs going to go down as well. Some tanks getting some nice hits off. He is going to be able to clean up all here, but is he going to have enough units to defend himself at home? That's the question. He's got a lot of Banelings coming through, actually. Nice split by Dream. These are going to be cleaned up. Actually, an amazing split by Dream.
Yeah, he cleaned up almost all those Banelings. GG! Well done by Dream. Got very ahead by that early 2 racks. And then just played a very safe mid-game. Got aggressive at the right moments, but played passively overall.
I'd like to talk about that final decision by Luvsic. It was very interesting.
Yeah.
To me, anyway. Like it looked to me like he had enough units. If he positioned them correctly, he would have been able to take out that attacking force.
Yeah, I think there was this timing where he didn't have a third base. He was kind of sitting there going, all right, you've got 2 tanks on the high ground, 3 tanks on the low ground, you've got a bunch of Marines over there. Remember, on Crossfire, to attack those tanks that are on the high ground, the Zerglings have to run all the way around, like 2 different ramps, and they go up, and they take so long to get around. The tanks are just shooting at them. The Marines, firing as well. Very difficult to do. But when there were 3 tanks and a lot of Marines on the low ground, I think that was the time. If he had crushed that army, he would have been able to take a third base and play a more normal game from there. But as it stood, he just was like, I just can't do it. There are tanks on the high ground. I can't do this. Even though he's got some on the low ground, if I attack the ones on the low ground, the high ground are going to shoot at me. I think he had just barely enough if he controlled his mute as well, picked off the tanks maybe on the low ground, just been a little bit more patient. He didn't have to do that. His opponent was still stuck on 2 bases. He had a good army. He had a good army composition. Didn't necessarily have to attack there.
We'll see how we go. We are going to go into Game 3, though, here for Dream versus Luvsic. It's going to be on Terminus Re.
Terminus Re, a huge map. Probably see a lot of Dreams dropship harass, Hellion harass maybe. He wasn't as aggressive with his harassment this game as I expected him to be, but part of that was because Luvsic just wouldn't let him. He was just shutting down the harass at every turn.
That's why it's interesting to me. He's just defending all that harass, doing so well, and then that just one critical mistake.
Yeah.
Finishes it up. So,
all right, let's jump into the game between Luvsic and Dream.